What I'd wish I'd known before becoming a data analyst, and this all applies to me, this is one I've been through a lot, is you might be doing work that you don't know about or something that's completely different from the job description. For example, there was a large project within the organization for a bunch of clients that was going on, and they needed some technical people to come in and help them with the back-end engineering, the data pipeline side of things. So they didn't hire a specialist team, they brought in the data analysts. It was me. At the time, I was a junior data analyst. There was a data analyst and a senior data analyst. They brought us three in to try and help them. I'm not entirely sure if it was bad management, bad project management, or just management or allocation in general, but we joined a morning scrum meeting, and within the first 2 minutes, the scrum master and the project manager told us, okay, you'll be doing this, you'll be doing this, you'll be doing this. Can you get this done by tomorrow afternoon? We sort of sat there with a look on our faces saying, wait, hold on a second. We've got other work to do. I had a project that was due for delivery the day after, and we also had a report we had to deliver collectively to stakeholders. To top it all off, the work that we'd been given, none of us had ever done before. It wasn't really data analyst or even data scientist specific. It was more on the data engineering side of things. So what they'd done is they'd ingested data through a third party, and the hours they'd hired the third party for, those had dried up. And what they wanted us to do was continue ingesting thousands and thousands of files and create a workflow in a tool called NIME, which they wanted us to create a workflow where you could upload a file into a folder, press a hotkey, and the workflow will take the file through a set of ingestion processes and create an output that they'd be able to read. We sat there thinking, wait a second, so we have to go back and learn an entirely new tool. NIME was the tool. Learn how to create the entire process. We had one video to go off of. They'd created one training video to go off. We had to create that entire process. None of us had done that before. That was more on the data. I would say that was more on the data engineering side of things. And I remember the three of us had a meeting afterwards thinking, what on earth have they put us into? You need someone specialist. You need a specialist data engineer who's worked with these kind of tools before to be able to do it on such short notice. If we'd have been given 2 months, maybe 3 months, okay, fine, we can understand the tool from the ground up, build up all that knowledge, and then start ingesting files. But for us to be able to ingest, they asked for 50 files or something, for us to be able to ingest 50 files by the end of tomorrow, that was a tough ask. And so that's what I mean by you could be doing work that you don't know, especially if there's a bit of tech involved in your work. It couldn't just be Python, SQL, and Excel, and Power BI. At least for me, there's a lot of work that falls outside of the remit of the job description. That last one was funny because we realized there was a bottleneck with how many files we could ingest, and the only person who could actually ingest more files was the third party who created that one training video. They were the only ones who had a key. It was a special key that they needed to be able to ingest batches of files instead of uploading one at a time. We had a limit of 50 files we could upload. Let's say I'm going to pick an arbitrary number. We had a number of 50 files we could upload. They could upload thousands at a time. So batch uploading was their remit, and they had the key to be able to unlock the module that let them upload batch files. And the expectation on us was, because the third party had done that process and shown that process, but they hadn't explained that only they had the key to be able to upload in batches. The expectation on us three was that we'd be able to maintain that level of workflow. We'd essentially be able to ingest the same number of files as the third party, which wasn't the case. And so we had to make sure everyone knew that we weren't able to do that. And that took a while for everyone to understand that there's a special key that unlocks a module that can actually ingest files in batches. Talk about doing work I've never done before. That third party was a specialist firm in Mannheim in Germany, and they actually came to our offices and explained how their system worked. And they had an entire operation running, and the three of us was essentially told to take over their side of the operation, which was tough. Nothing I'd ever done before. And so there's another thing I wish I'd known before becoming a data analyst. I guess there are industries where the work is more siloed, i.e. you're doing work day in, day out that bears resemblance to what you did yesterday or what you did the day after. You're siloed in your remit and the work that you do, maybe, at least in financial services, at least in the role that I'm in. There's a lot more that I've had to do that I had no idea before how to do, and also which wasn't in the job description.